Happening now, the latest in a weekend shooting in Jamestown. Police now identifying the man killed as they continue to seek those responsible for the death. And their renewed push underway to help cover police canine medical bills here in New York State. Plus, we go inside of a first-of-its-kind event at the Chautauqua County Humane Society that not only aims to raise money for the nonprofit, but also help our furry friends socialize.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould as we kick off a new week and a new month. Let's get a check of our weather forecast today. Of course, lots of local news coming up this half hour, but first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter here with details on this finally spring-like weather, Dakota, hopefully sticking around, maybe?
Well, we are going to stay a little bit below average throughout much of this week. But the good news is, at least right now, it's relatively dry, but lots of clouds around from the Finley Lake Skycam. And the satellite and radar composite basically shows you that. You can see the clouds surging on in here. And we are going to see a few rain showers, mainly across the eastern southern tier today. That'll be the best shot for maybe a couple of isolated showers through the afternoon hours. 56 was the high yesterday. That's a bit below average. Started the day at 47, 87, and 20 are the records for today. So through the afternoon, a good deal of clouds, a spotty shower mainly across the eastern southern tier, but chilly, 53 to 59 with a west wind. Now temperatures go up and down throughout this week, and we've got more rain to go through. We'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in just a few. Thank you. Police in Jamestown have identified the man killed in a north side shooting over the weekend. Officers with the Jamestown Police Department responded to a reported shooting around 11:30 on East 6th Street at American Place. The victim, identified as 37-year-old Sean Black of Lockport, New York, was taken via private vehicle to UPMC Chautauqua Hospital before police arrived on scene. Officers say Black was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Now, as of last update from the department, detectives have yet to identify a suspect in the case. Those with information on the incident are asked to contact Jamestown Police. You can do it anonymously at their tip line. The number is 716-483-TIPS. That number again, 716-483-8477. And a new push to help cover medical bills of police canines across New York is underway, with Jamestown's representative in the state Senate among those leading the charge. As WNY News Now's Julia Gress reports for us, the Canine Officer Health Monitoring Fund, sponsored by State Senator George Borrello, passed the Codes Committee last week.
Our canine officers are truly law enforcement officials. They stand side by side and take risks, and in some cases sacrifice their own lives to protect others. And unfortunately, by law, they are treated not as police officers. They're actually treated as property. And as a result, healthcare costs for them are not covered.
The bill will reimburse municipalities and law enforcement agencies for canine officer health costs. It would also establish a system to collect canine officer health data.
In Jamestown, we certainly had the situation where, a canine officer was stabbed in the neck, and although he survived, he sadly passed away from cancer. But these animals are partners with our law enforcement officials. They often take the bullet so that one of our police officers doesn't have to, and they deserve to have every measure possible to save their lives.
Canine Mitchell was stabbed under the jaw by homicide suspect Keith Robbins in 2016 and was saved by the heroic actions of his handler and the team at the animal hospital. Canine officers on drug detection duty face additional hazard, as the inhalation of synthetic opioids such as fentanyl can cause injury or death. The senator continued that the owners of these dogs should not have to be put in a position where they must decide if they can afford life-saving care or not. Despite partisan tension, the senator was able to push the bill ahead.
Senator Bailey, who chaired the committee that this went before, I requested this out, which is a formal process where you essentially force a bill onto a committee agenda, because it's been around since last year and it hadn't been on the agenda. And Senator Bailey came to me and said, I love this bill. He actually spoke favorably about it it passed almost unanimously.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The senator hopes to have the bill fully passed by the end of the year to protect these animals. A ceremony was held over the weekend to pay tribute to veterans who served in the Vietnam War. The Village of Westfield's Volunteer Firemen's Association hosted the event Saturday with many veterans and their families in attendance. The day marked 47 years since the fall of Saigon in 1975, which ended the conflict, though American troops had officially been withdrawn 2 years prior. Vietnam veterans from across Western New York were honored with gifts from the community, and several speakers addressed the audience about the impacts of the war which had on the nation and those on the front lines. With the years since the Vietnam War growing by the day, the health issues many soldiers suffered along with coming home, as several individuals and families accepted gifts on behalf of veterans who have since passed away.
Especially for the Vietnam veterans, there was so much hard feelings at the Vietnam War or during the Vietnam War that they, like I said in my speech, they didn't get the respect they deserved, and they were actually criticized for doing their jobs. This is our way of telling them, you know what, you really were appreciated, and we're really happy to have you in our community.
Organizers say they were a bit disappointed by the fact that they were unable to attract more veterans to be honored, as the group assumed there were many others in the town who served in some capacity during that conflict. Well, the Jamestown Rebels hockey team is moving forward in their division playoffs, clinching a 3-2 victory over the Johnstown Tomahawks and moving forward in the 2022 Robertson Cup. The tiebreaker match was held in Johnstown, where the Rebels won an overtime victory, winning the goal by Ryan Waltman, setting the final score of 4-3 and advancing into the next round of the playoffs. Previously, the Rebels secured a Game 1 victory at Johnstown with a final score of 2-1. Johnstown took the second game with a final score of Rebels 1 and Tomahawks 3. The Rebels returned to Jamestown to face Johnstown for the third time, ultimately losing in the first period of overtime 4-5. Jamestown did bounce back, taking Game 4 and a final score of 4-1. Now, Jamestown will be on the road this weekend to face off against the New Jersey Titans, returning to their home ice for Game 3 with the following week, with the potential for a fourth game in Jamestown and a fifth game there in New Jersey. As WNY News Now continues, yet another change-up to report in the redistricting legal battle here in New York, how this impacts your vote during the summer primary election. And a little bit later on, we check in with a high school in our region set to reopen following a shooting last month. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Whoa, Pre-Comic Book Day is almost here!
There's comic books for all ages.
Stop on down to Chautauqua Comics at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown and pick up some free comics. From superheroes to science fiction, there are tons of options.
100% free. Just show up on May 7th starting at 11 a.m.
Chautauqua County is in dire need of child care providers, and we need your help. The Chautauqua Child Care Council is hosting several special webinars to help you enter the child care industry. Setting up a child care program is easier than you think. It could start in your home, caring for a few children, or grow into a large operation at a daycare center. If financials are a challenge, no worries. The New York State Office of Children and Family Services is offering a grant opportunity to help you get started.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Community members in northern Chautauqua County organized a fundraiser to benefit cancer patients over the weekend. Students and staff at SUNY Fredonia's branch of the American Cancer Society hosted a Relay for Life, an event aimed at boosting cancer awareness on Saturday night. This 12-hour gathering was held at Steele Hall's Field House and ran overnight, a move organizers say puts into perspective the fact that cancer doesn't sleep. With the pandemic having halted traditional gatherings for the past 2 years, student leaders expected a lower turnout than usual, but that it wouldn't stop them from accomplishing what they had set out to do, kick cancer's butt.
The event hasn't happened here since 2019, so we're excited to have it be brought back. And the theme is game boards, but mainly the whole thing is just for, it's a celebration of life, and it's mostly fun, but there are moments of remembrance for those who have passed away from cancer, those who are affected by cancer, because cancer affects everyone.
If you want to know how to get involved in raising money or awareness for the cause, check out the American Cancer Society's website. It's cancer.org. And many states across the U.S. are having to redraw the lines for their proposed state and congressional district maps. Recently, New York's highest court tossed out their legislature's plans, saying the proposed districts violated the state's ban on partisan gerrymandering. So, how will this impact the upcoming primary elections in New York? Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp is set to find out.
In a 32-page ruling from New York's highest court, judges ruled that the state legislature violated the state's constitution when they took it upon themselves to draw the new state senate and congressional districts.
In 2014, the state passed an amendment that requires an independent commission to draw the new districts. Now, that commission did that, but those maps were rejected by the state legislature, and then they went and redrew their own. So the court said this was a clear violation of the amendment in 2014, which is part of the state constitution, and so therefore the maps are unconstitutional.
With the potential of Dems losing the majority in the House of Representatives, political analysts say the Dems saw this as an opportunity to try and pick up additional congressional seats.
New York's already losing 1 seat in the House of Representatives because of the reapportionment that happened. So the Democrats were trying to maximize their margin here. With the old maps, the way they were drawn, they probably would have got about 19 of the 26 seats, but with the maps they drew, they got about 22.
So how will this ruling impact the upcoming June 28th New York primary elections? Well, there could be separate primaries. A state judge says the special master will finish drawing up new maps by May 20th. In the meantime, state and local election officials will get ready to hold separate primaries in June and August, with August 23rd set for their congressional and state senate primary date. In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Well, we're now 2 weeks away from the primary election in Pennsylvania, and last week in Harrisburg, 4 Republican candidates running for governor faced off on the debate stage. Dave White was in Harrisburg for Wednesday's debate and spoke with our news crew while making a campaign stop to greet customers at a local diner there. White's a businessman from Delaware County, and he says he would bring his results-oriented work ethic to Harrisburg if elected. As a vocational technical graduate, White says there needs to be more VO Tech education options to bring better-paying jobs to the Commonwealth.
I'm a VOTech student, a graduate of VOTech. We need to give vocational education an opportunity and our students an opportunity to have that vocational education.
If elected, White says he would boost the economy with energy production and would utilize existing infrastructure to transport energy across the state and to ports so it can be exported. He'll face off against the other Republican candidates in the May 17th primary. Well, this week, students at Erie High will be returning to their classrooms for the first time since that devastating shooting incident inside a school hallway about a month ago. Students won't be returning all at once, but rather in a phased approach starting tomorrow. Last week, students and their families had a chance to visit the school for an open house. It was an opportunity to see upgrades made since the shooting and to ask questions about student safety before in-person classes resume. In-person classes, the district added more security cameras, made sure all classroom doors can be locked, developed a digital hall pass system, and students will have to pass through medical detectors before returning to the building. Seniors return first on Tuesday. Each grade follows on subsequent days until all kids are back in the class on Friday. Coming up, Ford owners listen up. We have an important recall notice you should know about. And later, the history lesson that has a Rochester teacher now on administrative leave. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay right there. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down, and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights, vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down, and move over.
move over.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area. Hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at the Northwest Arena as we ring in summer vacation with a party featuring snacks, music, and more. In addition, several groups will be on hand speaking with both kids and parents about the plethora of activities available to keep our youth occupied. Then later in the evening, finish out the home run day with a night of fun at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. As a PE teacher, I know the importance of keeping kids busy this summer, so stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. You can learn more online at ccsolutions716.com and watch for updates on the Collaborative Children's Solutions Facebook page.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Wanted to give you a look at the temperatures throughout the month last month, now since we are into May. And as you notice here on this map, there's a lot of blue on this map, which ultimately indicates temperatures that were below normal for the average daily temperature. So our temperature for the month, the average temperature was 42.8. That is 2.6 degrees below normal. So April 2022 ranks as the 19th coldest on record. We had a top 20 coldest April this year. And if you think it's been wet, you have been correct. The seasonal rain total is 8.43 inches as we run right now. Now, understand, we keep records for spring that start from March, April, and May. That is meteorological spring. So that is when we keep records. That is over 1 inch above normal for the spring season. So we are running, it's been a wet spring so far right now, but lots of clouds downtown from the HD News Now can. 50 on the dot, a southwest wind of 9. So we still do have that wind chill index at 46. It's still remaining relatively chilly for today, and temperatures are going to go up and down once again today. So 56 today, up to 63 tomorrow, down to 50 57, up to 65, down to 60. It's just going to continue up and down, up and down. And this is kind of how spring has gone so far today, just these wild and crazy temperatures. So have a front moving on through, but we still do have lots of clouds surging on you. But again, better chance for that rain shower will be further off to the east today. Look at all this mess. We have snow falling in parts of Colorado, and this same system is also producing lots of thunderstorms down across Kansas and Oklahoma. But once you get into the colder sector, it's snow. Isn't it funny how weather works? So here's the newest run of Future Scan. Notice lots of clouds, maybe a little spot shower popping up here from time to time. But again, think the better chance for that shower will be further off to the east. As we get into tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll transition over to partly cloudy skies with patchy fog developing overnight. Tomorrow should start mainly dry, but then as we go into the afternoon hours, we are going to see scattered showers redeveloping for the afternoon hours, becoming a little bit more widespread for Tuesday night. And then going into Wednesday, we'll still hang on to a few showers for the day on Wednesday, maybe a couple moderate downpours on Wednesday. So the rain forecast, this is the quantitative precipitation forecast from NOAA, and we're looking at about 1 to 1.5 inches worth of rain over the next 5 days, and the heavier amounts of rain will likely be across northwestern Pennsylvania. Now the future, Next 7 powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So you can see there by Wednesday, more rain showers, 57. I've got a mainly dry day Thursday, 65, few more showers Friday. The pick day of the weekend, Justin, is looking like it's going to be Sunday, where we will see some partly sunny skies and temperatures around average.
All right, coming through for all the moms out there on Mother's Day. Good to see, Dakota. Thank you. Across the nation now, and Ford Motor Company is recalling more than 250,000 Explorer SUVs in the U.S. because they can roll away unexpectedly while shifting into park. The recall covers certain 2020 through 2022 Explorers with 2.3-liter engines, 3-liter, 3.3-liter hybrids, and the 3.3-liter standard. It also includes all 2020 and 2021 Explorer Police hybrids. Those have 3.3-liter gas engines. The U.S. safety regulators say a rear axle mounting bolt can fracture, and that can cause this drive shaft to disconnect there. If that were to happen, the SUV can roll away even if they are placed in park without the parking brake on. Ford has 235 warranty claims due to the problem, no injuries reported. Well, a New York teacher has been placed on leave after reportedly using cotton to teach a class on slavery. Parents in the Rochester School District allege that the teacher, Patrick Rashu, made the 7th grader students pick seeds out of that cotton. According to the parents, he let white students opt out of the exercise, but forced the black students to partake. Rashu is alleged to have been used the cotton in an exercise in other classes too. The school district is being asked to revoke his teaching license. Rashu, who is white, has no comment on the allegations, but will remain on leave as the school district investigates. Well, unannounced visit this weekend, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi led the first official U.S. congressional delegation to Ukraine since the war started. Pelosi meeting with President Vladimir Zelensky as a civilian evacuations in the besieged city of Mariupol have now been put on hold. Cole Higgins with the latest.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
A surprise visit in Ukraine. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi leading a congressional delegation to the capital, Kyiv, meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky.
We are visiting you to say thank you for your fight for freedom, that we are on a frontier of freedom, and that your fight is a fight for everyone. And so our commitment is to be there for you until the fight is done.
Pelosi, the highest-ranking American official to visit the war-torn country to date, declaring the U.S. will not waver in its support for Ukraine.
To send a clear message to the world, America stands with Ukraine. We stand with Ukraine until victory is won.
Passing a $33 billion U.S. aid package for Ukraine, garnering bipartisan support as a top priority in Washington this week.
I think time is of the essence.
We'll turn to it as soon as we get back to the Senate tomorrow. And I think we need to push it very, very quickly.
This as new drone video gives a glimpse into Russia's renewed offensive in eastern Ukraine. And in the long-besieged city of Mariupol, civilian evacuations are now on hold until Monday, after President Zelensky says more than 100 civilians sheltering at a steel plant have been evacuated. New video from a Ukrainian battalion shows civilians evacuating from the steel plant in Mariupol on Sunday. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Next, we go inside of a first-of-its-kind event at the Chautauqua County Humane Society that not only aims to raise money for the nonprofit, but also help our furry friends socialize.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Students with Frewsburg High School's Honor Society are helping to socialize animals at the Chautauqua County Humane Society in a first-of-its-kind fundraiser. Our Alyssa Wright with more on the push to not only raise money, but also help the animals socialize.
Around 20 scholars with the Honor Society took part in the first ever Pet-A-Thon Saturday. Student Caitlin Bean helped bring the idea to life alongside others at the Humane Society.
Who doesn't love animals? I know I don't. So why not give back to someone or an organization that does a lot with animals?
After many months of collaborating with Senior Programs Director Brian Papalea, the Petathon was born.
We're trying to find a way to obviously fundraise, but along with that, get the youth interested in coming to the shelter and kind of opening up a new window for people to do that. I Googled, looked to see if anybody was doing anything of this nature, and I really couldn't find anything.
The Petathon aimed to not only raise money, thanks in part to student donations, but also contribute to the animals' overall emotional well-being. Honor Society student Colin Curley was among those lending a hand.
These pets may have had a rough time in another home or could have been abandoned, and we just want to get them ready to be able to go out into another home and have that loving, able-bodied home.
As for the possibility of another Petathon, the future looks promising.
We're hoping that other schools will get involved because really, I hope that Caitlin would agree. This is a pretty painless process, and it's just a good way to get those community hours in for the different groups and learn more about what we're doing. We'd be open to not only doing it again, but to working with other schools as well.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Right, Alyssa, thank you. Those interested in meeting these animals or helping the Humane Society can check out their website at chqhumane.org. What a great story, and a great first story, too, for our new reporter, Alyssa. Certainly welcome to the team. We love our animals at the Humane Society, and they really do so much good there, so it's really, really incredible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from the Pet of the Week segment that we have on Fridays to this particular instance of helping the high school students, It's really amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You look at these kids in the community, they do so much. It's like these Honor Society kids already worked their butt off, and now they're going to do this type
You
of
have to be a
volunteering work.
brainiac to be on Honor Society.
So it's really great, and they do so much good, too.
And I mean
well,
that
that's
in a good
going to do it. Yes, absolutely. That's
So don't send the letters.
It's good to be smart, just like you, Dakota. That's it for us today. News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day.